Okay, now we're going to work on the J, and I've been thinking about what I wanted. I need something very, very simple, and so I'm just going to give it some little stripes.
Are you recording?
I am, but I'm going to fast forward this so we're okay.
Let me know if you're going to talk and I'll be quiet.
Well, I will be talking in a minute. After I get this, you can see that I have striped this whole thing. And now, well, you couldn't see what I was doing, but I've striped the whole thing. And now I'm going to come back and I'm going to go the opposite direction, which I'm gridding it off so I can do Knight's Bridge. So I'm just going to come back this opposite direction. And I like Knight's Bridge done on a angle. I just think it's pretty that way, but it's a little bit more difficult to do. You have to concentrate on what you're doing a little bit more, but you can really zen out on this one also. And I could just leave this one, just this gridded look with, because of the color behind it, it has quite a pretty look. But I want a little bit more dramatic look, so I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. And I'm not going to turn it. Let's see if I can come out just a little bit more. Okay, and I won't turn it so I can stay right on the thing. But we want to start out, and I'm going to... It's very important when you do Knight's Bridge that you do it in order, that you don't skip around, because you can cause it to make mistakes. So I started in that corner and I made a few errors, but they will disappear as I fill in this. And you can see as I fill it in how it's going to be quite dramatic. The hardest part on Knight's Bridge when you do it on an angle is these corner pieces that are on the diagonal. You have to kind of pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, and I'm going to come back up here at the top and work my way down where I know it's a little bit more noticeable. If I were to make a mistake, in the gridding, and there we have the J done. And now we'll move on to the O. Enjoy. And I'm going to do a little Indirella. And we start out, they're just little little C shapes, and I'm just going to work them down through this tangle. So we start out and we get a little bigger, and then we get smaller. Start small, then gradually work your way up, and then go down. I just think that that is a pretty little tangle for in this O. We come in a little bit closer so you can, so we'll come in a little closer. And we'll just work our way around this O with Indirella. I just love how Indirella is just so delicate and can be, you know, worked into small spaces. Or it can be in big spaces. And then just like I did on the D, and I just did some curves, I'm just going to come back in here and just do some little curved lines on this O. Just around there, and then I'm going to come back and do the same thing. Ever so slight curve up that O. And now for our joy, our Y in our joy, I believe I will do poke root. And again, I forgot to come in so you could see just a little poke root in here. Sometimes you just need to come back to those original little tangles and just give them little tiny and doing some of them upside down. It's kind of sometimes a little bit challenging, but we're up for that challenge. And there we have Find Joy. And we can come back in, and on this Y, I could, again, I'm just going to do little, just stripe it off. We could color in these Jesus and others and yourself. You can add some tangles to that, maybe some vines. This is a great tangle that, project that you can do. I hope you enjoy it. As you can see, I decided to go back and color these other, the Jesus and other and yourself. And then I started to just do some embellishing. So I'm going to come in on here, and you can see that on the Jesus, I just did some embellishing, just some little picot edges around the E. You can just do some little embellishing, and that makes a difference in your tangle. We could stripe this, but I thought that this this area needed just some movement. It was a little plain. I'm going to scan back out. And so I'm going to put some tangles behind, just behind this part. And of course, if you know me very much, I love Muka. And so I'm just going to start with some very simple Muka. Now I'm going to come in so you can watch, but I'm just going to just attach it basically to the lettering. I have to tell you, when Maria first did Muka, I fell in love with it, and I was working at the library, and it was a little slower day, or maybe not. I hate to confess that I might have drawn at work, but I just drew and drew and drew Muka until I just absolutely fell in love with the movement of it. And I love how you can make it escape out. For, you know, do a little holly bar effect on it. And so it just flourishes out. And it can just come up from anywhere in your drawing. And there's such an unknown aspect to Muka. I never know really what's going to happen to it. If it's going to turn and twist. Try to keep them the same distance so that there is some consistency in the drawing. And sometimes I will do Muka so that it comes right back down into a point. So it's like a kind of a standalone. But you can see how it really embellishes the word love. It just kind of explodes out. And for me, that's what I'm looking for, is something that will embellish behind that. So I could come up here and repeat that same tangle. And I'm just going to have it meet down in there. And I don't like to go over the letters. I like to do a holly bar effect on the lettering. But you can see how that's just a fun tangle. I'll probably go ahead and work on this and then do a little speed drawing so that you don't have to listen to me yap the whole time. So there we have a little Muka, just to give that a little movement in that part of the tangle. And I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget that you can download this template free at on my website in the store in the free area. And have a great holiday season. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And thanks again, and have a great day.